Vedanta itself. I'm sure about that. And Guruji is going to speak in the next 4 days on this philosophy of Vedanta. And the topic itself is Vedanta Chintanam, reflections on Vedanta. The philosophy of Vedanta is so unique because it is not belonging to any particular religion. It is a universal truth that is expounded in the Upanishads. And therefore, it is said, Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. What is said in the Upanishad is what is known as Vedanta. The very meaning of the word Vedanta is end of knowledge. End of knowledge means where knowledge culminates, where it finds its fulfillment. And all of us know whatever we learn is for our own happiness. So what is the purpose of Vedanta? Vedanta is to find the ultimate happiness in our life. Interestingly, this particular book, which is written by our own Guruji himself, out of his own reflections, he has composed these verses for easy understanding of the philosophy of Vedanta. So even if you are not introduced to these concepts or this philosophy, you will definitely find a great benefit out of Swamiji's, Guruji's teachings. A philosopher as such need not be a devotee or a person of love for God. In the Western tradition we find philosophers are those who think abstract about life, about everything. But in the Indian tradition we find the philosophers are always devotees of God. And this is so unique in our Guruji because he always begins all his discourses with the submission to God first. And as you find in the book, which you will also be referring to during this talk, our Guruji begins with saying that may the Lord Rama bless us in such a way that we understand this very difficult subject matter and live it. Shri Ramaya Namastubhyam Kripaya Tava Shakyate Sukhena Abhyasitam Labdham Jnanam Dainiga Jivane. In living Vedanta is so difficult without the grace of God. We all know, we know so many things, but to live, we compromise. Why? Because there is an element of doubt, element of uncertainty, and element of faithlessness is there. Unless we have the faith in something higher, it is very difficult for us to sacrifice. Therefore, to start with, Guruji begins saying that let me submit to God even as we attempt to live this. And in tradition of Hinduism, we find that the scriptures always begin with an idea, and it is a tradition that it should end with the same idea. You know, it's like any public speaker when he begins to propose an idea to the audience, he begins with an idea, this is what I'm going to say. And at the end of it, you should conclude in the same way. Otherwise, the audience will get confused. You would say, I believe capitalism is the best form of government, and finally I should not at the end say, therefore communism is the best. You know, that kind of a contradiction should not be there. Similarly here, we have this tradition of upakrama upasamhara, meaning the beginning what you say is the same thing you conclude with. I see it so beautifully here in this textbook. Guruji begins with saying, submit to God to live this beautiful Vedantic life, and at the end it also ends with submission to God, saying Sri Ramachandrasya Kripa Prasada Vedanta Chintana Parakritirya Samarpayetam Padaravindayoho Bhuyat Prasanna Sri Ramaguruscha. I therefore have submitted my ideas here, and with the blessings of Sri Rama and Guru, may this be very clear for us to live by. That's a simple, brief, meaning of that. I submit to the lotus feet of the Guru as well as Sri Ram. So we are so blessed to have Guruji, who has authored the book itself, to speak about it. And this will be definitely the double benefit. And not only just reading the book with an unknown face, you have the face of the person, and who has written this book as well. So I would urge you all to come every day, these 4 days, exclusively to attend, benefit and live Vedanta, directly coming from the person who has been living for many years. Thank you so much for coming today, and I hope to see you all again. Thank you. Hari Om.